Hey friends, my name is Kalpesh and welcome back to my YouTube channel Automotive Crux. In continuation with my previous video, I am back with the power limited acceleration performance of the vehicles. In my previous video, we have seen basics about the transmission layout. We learned about the mechanical systems through which the engine power is transmitted up to the road wheels. We also learn about the Newton's second law for the transmission system and the rotational system both, and last we have learnt about the application of the Newton's second law to understand or to estimate the acceleration performance of the vehicle. Before we look into the details, don't forget to subscribe this channel and click on the bell button so you will get the notification at first. Now, with the help of this equation and this previous two equations, we are planning to derive the final expression to estimate the exact acceleration performance of the vehicle, right? So now first we need to understand that whatever torque or the force which is produced by the engine, that is going to transfer up to the road wheels, and that power it is reduced by the amount of rotational inertia of each system. I am again emphasizing on this statement: whatever power is produced by the engine, that power in terms of torque is reduced by the rotational inertia of the subsequent mechanical systems. Okay, so by using this fundamental theory, we can say that this is our first equation for this theory. Okay, so this indicates this TC indicates the total torque at clutch. Okay, total torque at clutch, and TE it indicates the total torque produced by the engine. Minus, as I said, we need to consider the total reduction in the torque, which is equals to the rotational inertia of subsequent mechanical system. Okay, so again I would like to emphasize on this product I into alpha, which indicates the torque. Simple. Okay, so IE here it indicates the engine rotational inertia, and alpha E it indicates the engine rotational acceleration. This is our first equation. Okay, this engine torque we can calculate with the help of dynamometer, chassis dynamometer at our lab. So this we can estimate by the laboratory testing. Simple. Okay, and the final equation what we need obviously it is in terms of this TE, engine torque. Okay, so the next one, TD, it indicates the torque output to the drive shaft. Okay, torque output to the drive shaft. Now torque output to the drive shaft, here drive shaft, that means you can consider the propeller shaft too. Okay. In between the engine and the propeller shaft, we have another mechanical system which is known as a transmission box. Okay, and we all are very well with the construction of transmission box. In the transmission box, we have a number of gears on different shafts which are engaged simultaneously each other, right, and they are continuously in the rotating manner. Okay, so while we are trying to calculate the torque at drive shaft, we need to consider the transmission box. So here we can say the torque output at clutch minus the inertia loss occur in between the engine and the drive shaft. Okay, inertia loss occur in between the engine and the drive shaft. So this term, it is very simple, as we have done in the previous case. Okay, it is very simple to understand. Now this torque, this total term, it indicates the torque. This torque, it is amplified by the transmission box. We are very well aware with the construction of the transmission box. We are trying to increase the torque output. Okay, so this amplification we need to consider, and we consider this amplification with the help of the multiplication of the transmission ratio. So here NT, it indicates the transmission ratio. So our total final equation, or we can say total torque available at drive shaft, it is TC, torque at clutch, minus IT into alpha E, which is the inertia loss in between the engine and the drive shaft, and this torque, it is amplified with the help of transmission ratio. Once we have a drive shaft, that means our torque produced by the engine, it is transmitted up to the final gear, we can say up to the final gear, and after the drive shaft, or you can say propeller shaft, finally we need to calculate the torque transmitted up to the drive axle. So the torque transmitted to the drive axle we can calculate in the same manner as we have done in the previous case. Okay, this is the TD, it indicates the torque at the drive shaft minus the inertia loss in between the drive shaft and the drive axle. Okay, again I am repeating, this TD, it indicates the drive shaft, and ID into alpha D, it indicates the inertia loss occurs in between the drive shaft and the drive axle. Okay, now again in between these two components, that means drive shaft and the drive axle, we have one more gearbox which is called the final drive. Okay, in final drive we are very well aware with the construction. It has a pinion and the crown gear, and in the final drive again we are trying to amplify the torque. So the total torque at the axle, it can be amplified with the help of final drive gear ratio. Okay, final drive gear ratio. So here NF, it indicates the final drive gear ratio. Okay, you can call it the transmission ratio, you can call it the gear ratio, you can call it the numerical ratio of final drive, all are same to same. Okay, so I hope it is clear. Okay, this term, it is very simple to understand as we have done in the previous case. Okay, now we can also calculate the torque at drive shaft in terms of total tractive force available at ground too. Okay, so this term indicates the torque at the drive axle in another terms. Okay, Fx, here Fx, it is the tractive force at ground multiplied by the radius of wheel. Okay, radius of wheel, so it gives the torque term, and this is the rotational inertia. In terms of rotational inertia, IW and alpha W, additional torque which is assisted by the wheel itself. Okay, so a total equation we can write in this form. Why we need to add Fx term here? Because we are intent to derive the final expression in terms of Fx. As I said at the first in this video, okay, we need to derive the whole expression in terms of tractive force available at ground. We have a few relations of rotational acceleration of the engine, transmission and drive line by gear ratios. So we have a few relation which can relate the numerical ratio and the drive line. These relations, they are very simple to understand, because if we have an understanding of the numerical ratio, then we can say that it is simple gear ratio. So numerical ratio or gear ratio we can calculate in many ways. The numerical ratio we can calculate in terms of number of teeth available on the gears, or we can calculate with respect to the velocity, speed of the gears too. So considering the speed of the gears, again we can convert it to the rotational acceleration of gears, and then we can modify that equation in this manner. Okay, so final drive, or we can say alpha D, okay, alpha D, rotational acceleration of drive shaft must be equal to the rotational acceleration of wheel times the final drive ratio. So likewise you can calculate the rotational acceleration at engine in terms of transmission ratio and drive axle. and with the help of this previous equation you can replace this alpha d by this equation, and here we are getting the final relation. Now with the help of this equation, main equation, and with the help of this relations we can derive the final equation. Okay, so the attractive force available at ground, it becomes like this. With the help of the all previous equation, simply we replace all terms, and by rearranging the all terms we are getting this final equation. Okay, final equation for the attractive force. Now in this equation, by considering the 80 to 90% efficiency of the transmission case and the final drive case, we can again add the efficiency term in this equation, and this equation it is now transformed and becomes a final equation for the attractive force. Okay, so the first term here, it is amplified by the efficiency, or you can say multiplied by the efficiency term. Simple. Now again this eta TF, it indicates the efficiency of overall gear ratio, efficiency of overall gearbox. Now so this is our final equation for the Fx, which means tractive effort. Okay, so in this equation we have a two terms. First term indicates the steady state tractive force available at ground. The first term, it indicates the steady state tractive force available at ground, and this second term at the right hand side direction, it indicates the net inertia loss due to rotational components amplified by the square of the overall gear ratio. I am again repeating this statement. It is very important to understand this final equation. Okay, the first term in the right hand side direction, it indicates the total steady state tractive force available at ground, and the second term, it indicates the net inertia loss due to rotational components, which is amplified by the square of the overall gear ratio. Okay, now just try to focus in the last term. Okay, it is Ax divided by r square. Now till this we have already seen the alpha, not Ax. Okay, not Ax. So here Ax, it indicates the longitudinal acceleration, and alpha, it indicates the rotational acceleration. So if we are trying to correlate this longitudinal acceleration and the rotational acceleration, then we can say that the longitudinal acceleration, it is equals to the rotational acceleration times the radius. Okay, so this becomes our Ax. So with the help of this relation, this alpha is removed from the previous equation, and the final equation, it is in terms of Ax divided by r. Okay, Ax divided by r. So this becomes our final equation. Once we have a tractive effort or tractive force available, okay, then we can easily calculate the or we can easily predict the characteristic behavior during the acceleration and braking. This is our previous equation as it is for the reference, and this equation I have already shown you in the first slide. So with the help of this two, we can replace these Fx with the help of this whole term, and this negative, which indicates the inertia loss, okay, which indicates the inertia loss, goes to the this side. Okay, this side. So Fx, it is replaced by simple term Te and Tf, eta Tf divided by r, and this total inertia loss, it comes here in terms of Mr. Okay, so it becomes plus, and this Mr, it indicates the rotational inertia. Okay, so this becomes our final equation, with the help of which we can predict the acceleration performance of the vehicle considering the power, it is the limiting factor. That means during the high speed condition we can predict the acceleration behavior of any vehicle. Thank you guys, thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please subscribe this channel and click on the bell button, so you will get notified whenever I upload something, and this will be a kind of appreciation for me too. Thank you.